Yeah, and like, especially with cold calling, one rate over the way it's done right now, I think so little because the volume of dialing, especially when you combine cold calling 1.0,
With
with
power
power
dialers.
dialers, if you're doing it without it, per dial, the time it takes is so hard. And you again need to figure out like, uh, given given the biggest challenge today being most people are not necessarily in their office, and therefore like the office desk number is kind of out of commission. It's a pure round of luck on those numbers, and mobile number data is still limited. Like even with Zoom Info or Apollo and all the other solutions, not only is it expensive, but like best case scenario, I have seen coverage of what 30%, 35% of your prospect list will you get a active mobile number that's not barred from calling. uh and therefore like the it becomes so much more harder to keep like dialing manually to this limited set of numbers. You don't want to burn it. And when you try and go and do like any research on them beforehand, it becomes such a difficult thing to balance the time you want to spend, because again, especially when people may not pick up, it's frustrating. I spent 20 minutes researching this, making this perfect thing, and then call them 5 times, nobody picked up. So
Yeah,
I should
so
not do it anymore.
I can share an anecdote. So what we had, sorry, what we had when I started, we didn't have a CRM, right? I just got the used MacBook of the ex-girlfriend of my founder. And we would sit every Thursday, order pizza, and then everybody had the goal to find out 10 numbers from the website.
Wow.
Because that was our basic, like we spent like 2 hours to find
Find the
the
data.
numbers, right? It was like pure dog work, so to say. And then of course there were office numbers, right? You're lazy on a Thursday evening, right? So you find the office numbers and you go home. But this is what we did. Um, so there's really a point, and there's also, especially, I think we had a comment on what do you advise as a young sales rep. I think Ayanda, is you just get stuck in the easy work, and that's doing the research, and then you have done one cold call and did research for 18 hours, right? We all know this meme, right? Preparing for the cold call, doing the cold call, recovering from the cold call, right? And this is what happens. So you need to get into the flow, you need to get into the mindset. So let's check out what's waiting for us on the next slide, maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah, this old style, I mean, what we're seeing is numbers like you're dialing 1,000 people, you're getting maybe 5% connect, 50 people you get connected to. Most of them people don't move forward, like less than 10%
Yeah.
connect to conversation. So you're now down to five five real conversations. And now the pressure is, well, you better get at least one or two of them into meetings, otherwise that whole day is bust.
Yeah.
So this is where, again, I think the first solution that came through to solve for this was let's add, power dialers to this context. Because if dialing, 1,000 numbers is barely getting you, it used to take what, a whole week to dial 1,000, maybe a month sometimes to dial 1,000 dials before power dialers. And then if you are down to five conversations, the pressure is too much. The first solution I think we saw was that people started coming in with power dialers right here. Uh, but before we get to the power dialer part, Alan, what are the numbers you guys are seeing, and others on the in the conversation here? What kind of numbers are you guys seeing in your cold calling structures today? Are most of you facing similar conversion challenges? 1,000 dials to get to maybe a 4 or 5 conversations.
Um, I got tired just for reading the previous slide. All the steps that you need to go through. I mean, that's overwhelming. So, Ayana, be with us. It's a hard job to do, but it's really rewarding. So, welcome to the club. Answering to your question, Satwick, I think that based on my experience, for example, in the last role as I was as a sales manager for the South of Europe, regional manager there at Revolut, basically we had a challenge that it's not only we didn't have a power dialer itself, we had a dialer for sure, but not a power one. The CRM was really crowded of companies that were prospected by different sales reps at the same time. or in different times, but really close one to the other. So what happens is that you had a super crowded market, burned market at some point, and a lot of people prospecting the same market. So what happened with that? That we had fewer or a little connection rate, really small. And on top of that, we needed to make more calls in order to get ones of those that are connected to a booking meeting booked. Sorry. So as you're putting here, less than 2% of cold calls convert without personalization. I couldn't agree more. I think that even we have more than closer to 1%. And it was really tough because we were focusing at the beginning and then change with time in volume. And as you mentioned in this example, I don't know if I can draw here. I think that I can here. We offer CRM solutions that can help your company. We are this, we are that. I can help you with this. I can help you with that. And the most common one, I can help you save time and money, right? I mean, we are tired of sales people saying that you can help me save time and money. That's exactly why you build a company in the first place, either to help me with operational things, and that will help me save time. And if I save time, I can do more things and I will save money, or the other way around. So if you tell me that you will help me save time and money, no, you have a problem, not even after connecting, but after having a conversation, because you won't book a meeting. So I would say that this is somehow in some markets pretty generous, the numbers that you're showing here.
I was about to say that, yeah, 2%, I mean, is actually a good benchmark. Like,
yeah,
exactly. Are averaging like 0.5% or 1% in net conversion from dials.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody else here who maybe has a better better conversion rates on their cold calls?
For sure, there are some industries and some specific niches that they perform really well because they are unexplored, right? But if you're selling any other fintech in the world or any other SaaS solution for a chatbot or something like that, man, I can tell you, a lot of people are doing exactly the same. So it's tough.
Yeah, and then to solve for that, I think power dialers emerged as a solution, so that, okay, sure, we have a low conversion rate, maybe 1%, maybe less. So what? Let's boost the volumes. Let's dial up the volume, and we'll get more meetings that way. But I think power dialers have created their own new set of challenges, and they're coming with a trade-off of your effectiveness is decreasing even more, because now you're not even sure who you're talking to, what gets who are you getting connected to when you're doing parallel dials. How are you guys seeing this, Alan and Jan? I've seen both sides with our customers. There are teams who have bought power dialers, started doing parallel dialing, saw the conversion rates drop even more, and now they're using expensive power dialers to only do parallel dialers to only do like one call at a time while paying for a power dialer seat. How are you guys seeing it?
If you allow me, Jan, I can give a quick reflection and then you can explain
Ramos, my friend, please go. I can't wait, man.
All right. So no, the reflection that I do, we want to see this as the half glass of water full as well, right? There are some pros and cons with this. So this came up as everything as a solution for a problem that we had, right? Power dialers. What happened is that when you are building new things, new problems or challenges will arise. And as you're saying, Satwick, there are some companies that are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, and they are not seeing any result, even worse results than before, right? And I know by fact that there are some companies that after implementing power dialers, they had like a drop, but then they did really well. So my perspective is power dialers are really helpful because, as I was mentioning at the beginning, the equation, soft skills plus a lot of volume. If you don't have the soft skills, this is not going to work. But in order to build that soft skill or those soft skills, you need to practice a lot. There's no other way. Practice and practice and practice and learning and practice and doing it again. So what power dialers did is, if you are calling 30 people per day, right now you're calling 250, you are going, if you want, and if you're a good seller, you are going to learn a lot faster because you are hitting your head with the wall with more objections, different objections, how to handle them, etc., etc., etc. So how I see this is power dialers are great because helped us to increase volume. In some cases, helped us to increase skills or develop more skills or upskills the ones that we already have, right? And if you combine those things, then for sure you might have a better outcome or a positive ROI, right? But if you measure everything, what's happening right now, mainly in the SaaS industry, is that how do you say when people the time that people spend in a company average, right? The
Tenure.
the tenure. Sorry.
Yeah.
The tenure is going down right now. So average tenure for an SDR or AE, it's last year or 2 years ago was around two years. Right now it's 1 year, 1.5 years the most, and this is going down. There's a lot of rotation, there's a lot of turnover, there's a lot of people going from one company to the other, and there's a lot of demand of jumping into SaaS. So what I am 3 years in, come on, man. So what's happening right now, man, you are like a unicorn right now. So
seriously.
yeah, exactly. What's happening right now is that you don't have the time to ramp up as you should ramp, and you have a lot of volume doing things in the wrong way. So it's again the formula for disaster. But again, I think that power dialers, we will explain in a moment with 2.0, are really good if you can complement the other skills that you need to complement. Sorry for the long speech, Jan. I said it was
No,
going to be short.
I think your answer was way better because we don't even use power dialers. I think Pleo is the biggest customer of HubSpot in entire Europe. So we have everything HubSpot. So we are not even there yet, right?
Okay.
And I see the point. It's just I just think that you burn out the people, right? Like if you put the people through this process, they will leave. They will leave fast, right? So I think I hear a friend talking in the background. No problems. Nice to hear the conversation. No, I think that's just what happens, right? So you need to find this balance between making it nice because you want to keep the talent. Like right now is my best year. Like first year you can't do anything. Second year you learn, and third year you start to play. Then you start to have fun with a prospect. You get comfortable in the process. So that's the only challenge I see with those priorities. Yes, I agree. You get to failure faster, but you also get like the risk of burning out or moving on faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just my take on it.
I mean, I always like to.
You just break the people. You just break the people.
Yeah.
That's
If
what
you
I feel like.
use power dialers to like spray and pray, then yeah, and exactly. The risk is you'll burn off the numbers. People will, the moment they hear your voice, they'll put the phone down or just, uh, take you to the cleaners on that one. And then it's even harder because you can't keep finding more companies and more people all the time. I mean, there is a finite number at the end of the day there. What we've seen is like we had a similar experience. Like we switched to a power dialer late last year, and Jan, Alan, as you mentioned, we had a very similar trajectory where initially, while the number of dials, like our team was making about 100 dials a week on an average per rep, and with power dialers we went from 100 per week per rep to like 200 per day per rep. And that was a massive increase. And our expectation was, yeah, here comes the meetings now. Now we're going to have 5 times, 3 times the number of meetings. Life is going to be so awesome. But Alan, as you said, the challenge we saw was that beforehand, before making the dial, the team was like looking at the prospect. They were at least checking their LinkedIn, at least the company website, some basic information. And now with a power dialer, even if you're dialing with like 3 parallel dials, suddenly the person you're getting connected to, you barely have a couple of seconds to just glance at their name, and now you have to go. So the initial results were actually worse because the relevancy of the message actually went down because people were feeling a bit less confident, and they defaulted to the basic pitch instantly instead of the focused one that we had. And it took us some time, and that was actually the prompt for us to start building like AI powered cold calling into Evabot as well. When we had started off, it was focused on emails and LinkedIn, just like most tools are. But when we realized that pain after switching to the power dialer, that's when we started working on like how do we solve this fundamental problem of bringing in insights and opening the conversation with something very strong, because that's where the biggest difference was.